Hi, I'm Matt Collins. I'd like to welcome you to Bob Weber Auto Mart on Douglas Avenue here in Racine, across from Douglas Park. We specialize in 1-year-old, low mileage, almost new cars. And if you'd like to stop by and see them, or see them on our website, bobweberautomart.com, we could save you between $5,000 and $10,000 on your next almost new car purchase.
I'm Michael Burke, and this is Money Talks. Hi, welcome to part 2 at the abandoned haunted house complex with co-owner Corey Stevens. Part 1 was a lot of fun, and I know part 2 is going to be also. Why don't you explain what room we're in?
We are in the story room, and
of Hysteria.
Of Hysteria. This is
this other part of,
which is the first haunt that you go through.
What's the first?
Yes, it's the first of the two. This is the story room. The reason for the story room is the first year that we were open, we had a video that played in here, and it kind of explained the whole thing that you were going to be experiencing. It had like really creepy, crazy video, and you know, it went down to, you know, maggots and things like that that would really creep people out. And it was really effective. The problem is it was about 2 minutes long, and it didn't let us have the amount of throughput that we needed for larger nights, big crowds on Saturday, Friday, Saturday nights, because those are a lot larger than the Thursday and Sunday nights that were open. So even though it doesn't show a story anymore, we have a animated picture frame in its place, we do still call this the story room.
I wanted to ask you, you mentioned the large crowds. How many people will you have go through on a Saturday or a Sunday? A Friday or Saturday, right?
Friday, Saturday. It does vary between the beginning of the month and the end of the month. We do find that the third Saturday of the month, everybody wants to come to a haunted house. And you could tell them you could discount your prices in half and say, come on Thursday. That Saturday will be the most ridiculous night of the month. We're in a unique situation this year because a lot of those evenings, those third Saturdays, the reason they're busiest is because the next weekend bars have costume parties, people have home parties. Well, this year we almost get 2 third weekends because for the holiday is on the Friday.
Okay.
So this entire coming weekend, we're expecting good-sized crowds. I normally don't divulge the amount of crowd that we do just for competitors and things, but I can say that our lines are much longer on a Friday, Saturday night than they would be on a Thursday or Sunday night.
How long a wait would you expect outside on those nights, and how long does it take to experience and absorb the whole thing?
We've been running on our busy Saturday nights, like last weekend. We were running at about an hour and a half wait outside, which is not so bad. On our slow nights, you might wait 15 minutes. Once you're inside the haunted house, it depends on how intense you are. I mean, some people just literally run through this haunted house. Some people, they want to take it all in, so they go super slow. So it's a little bit of a chess match to keep those groups from running into each other. And they do a lot. And it's something we really can't control based on how people experience haunted houses differently. So we built this entire haunted house to be very tight and windy, because I always felt like when I was at a haunted house, I ran into a very large group of people. My experience seemed to be less exciting. So because we twisted and turned everything so much, my goal is to make sure that you only see 3 or 4 people in front of you and 3 or 4 people behind you at any time. So it only seems like you're in a group of 8, whether they're people from your group or behind you. That tends to be the experience. And the entire haunted house, on an average, takes 40 minutes to get through.
And you said you could come back. I know you change it up from year to year to some extent, but it's your belief that you could do this 3 or 4 times and notice new things each time.
There's so much detail in each room. We've had
I can see
people
that.
that have come back 3 to 4 times a year, and they've said, "This room's amazing. I can't believe you guys got this thing done. It's so cool." And I said, "That's been here 2 years." So that happens a lot, actually. People go through, including my family. My sister came through on the first weekend, and there's one area where there's claustrophobia bags, and then you go down a ramp, and she goes, "Oh, that was so cool." I'm like, "It was there last year." She goes, "No, it wasn't." I'm like, "Yes, it was." So you could go through this place. I think there's such a sensory overload that your brain can't process everything that's going on.
Yeah.
And even
and
the
even if you
actors scare
experience
spots,
it,
right?
Yeah, there's certain things that are just
Sure.
going to drop out. You're going to.
Yep, and even the actor scare spots, we like to put 3 or 4 scare spots in each room, so that actor can be in 3 different spots. So maybe where you saw them last time and are expecting them, they may not be.
Oh, is there a minimum age to come through?
We require that children under the age of 12 have a parent with them. We leave it up to the discretion of the parent on whether or not their child is mature enough to make it through this haunted house. I have a 9-year-old son who will not go through.
Yeah.
I have a son that went through at 11. He's 13 now, and he loves it. His friends love it. So I really think it's up to the parents' discretion on what they think they can tolerate. We've had 7-year-olds in here that have gotten through like fine. We've had 13-year-olds that cried in the first room and went running out. So I guess it's all the parents know their kids a lot better than we do, so we let them make that decision. We don't put a limit like you cannot bring, as long as they can walk on their own. But I would recommend not.
Yeah. And what about male and female? Are there more guys coming through here?
That's actually a really good question. Females come in groups of females. Guys come with women, dates or big groups of parties or big parties. However, you don't normally see large groups of guys coming through haunted houses. So, the women like to make this a night out, and they have a good time. But if the guys have a chance of maybe watching a football game or going to a bar and playing shooting pool, that might be something that they're more willing to do as a group, because I think they're a little afraid that they might get scared and their friends would probably have something on them for a long time.
Well, let's continue the conversation in another part of Hysteria. So we're now in the Tiki Hut. Why don't you tell us, Corey, the idea behind this?
The Tiki Hut was actually thought up by us when we were ripping the old overhang off the front of the building, and they had these great 4-inch used beams. We thought, how neat would it be to kind of make it look like a hut, and then almost a witch doctor effect. So we have potions behind us, we have rattles and dolls and bones and things that you would see in a tiki hut or a witch doctor type setting. A lot of this stuff came from barns that we went and helped tear down, all the barn wood, those types of things. So yeah, I mean, we've got the shrunken heads. It kind of goes with that whole theme.
Right. I didn't ask you yet to really explain the idea behind the name Hysteria, or how Hysteria is different than Ambush.
They're actually very true to their name. So Hysteria itself is more of a mental scare. We're actually screwing with your brain by visual effects, by the actors. The actors in Ambush are a much more aggressive, jump out, scare you, startle, and get back into their spot. The people in here, this would be a witch doctor. This would be somebody you would be afraid of. And they're coming out and they're messing with you, and they're talking about something that they're going to do to you. They're going to shrink your head, or they're going to do this, or they're going to do that. So the first haunt is more of a mental scare, more interactive, more suggestive, where the back one would be definitely more like a startle scare, high intensity, high music, like the prisoners. The prisoners are attacking you. You just walked into a prison, and you're being attacked by them who just took over the prison, and now they want to get out.
Where do your ideas come from? I'm sure that a lot of it just developed over time, but do you read scary things, or where do you get ideas from?
I don't watch any scary movies. I don't read any scary things. And what's funny is my designer, he doesn't watch any scary movies. This is all kind of stuff that he thinks up in his head. So we have a role here, him and I. He's the manager. He manages the employees, and then I manage the business part of it. He also does the decorating of the rooms. So as you see all the detail stuff in here, all the lighting, that was something he did. I do all the structural stuff, so like putting these beams up, building the tables, building the shelving units. I do all that. Okay. So what I do is I work ahead of him every year. And I work on the structural stuff, and then he comes behind me and does all the detail stuff as we move on.
I'm really interested to see the vortex tunnel. Why don't we take a look at that?
Okay, let's do it.
The last thing you're going to see here is likely me staggering through the vortex tunnel because it's amazing. I don't know if the camera is going to do this justice, but when you turn this thing on, I immediately lurched to the side because I thought the room was spinning. So you got to check it out for yourselves. Abandoned haunted house complex. You got to work on getting that down to like 3 words, but it's descriptive as hell. So thanks a lot for watching. Check it out. This thing is going to be amazing. And Greg's going to cut the light, and Corey is going to lead me to try to make it to the other end of this thing. So thanks for watching. Oh boy. Oh my gosh. Oh, thank God. These are aliens. Alright, thanks for watching.
Hi, I'm Matt Collins. I'd like to welcome you to Bob Weber Auto Mart on Douglas Avenue here in Racine, across from Douglas Park. We specialize in 1-year-old, low mileage, almost new cars. And if you'd like to stop by and see them, or see them on our website, bobweberautomart.com, we could save you between $5,000 and $10,000 on your next almost new car purchase.